Retrak works with street-connected children to help them come away from the street to the centers on their own voluntarily, so that at the centers they are helped, they are prepared and taken back to their people in the families where they came from, in the various communities in Uganda. There are circumstances when children are not able to return to their biological families, and usually it's because of various challenges. When that is the case, we may prepare these children and take them to a foster family. We find local families from within our communities, but it's usually one of the biggest challenges we have because there is a lot of stigma connected with the children that we work with, associated with crime. It becomes a challenge now to begin to undo that negative attitude for a family to receive a child. But usually what we do, we approach faith-based organizations or communities like churches. We'll go and request talk to the congregation, and those who are willing to come, we will start the assessment from there. We have people who know us, like now the probation officers, the police. So when they find people who they think can help, they will inform us, and then we can go and approach them. We also have had opportunity to approach groups that are already organized by different organizations. And what has been most helpful and effective is now the existing foster carers talking to the people they know in their community, in their churches, the groups they interact with. And out of such, we have also been able to find families. Foster care itself is a relatively new program here. People think that local people do not foster. They hear about it, maybe it's for those people out there, the white people are the ones who do such things. But we have been able to explain foster care, relating it with the care of extended family children. That we explain, like, the way they take care of the children within the extended family is almost similar to that. But to go ahead to explain that it's a bit different since they are receiving a child who they have not known before. When we have identified the prospective foster carers, we will take them through training. When we have identified them, assessed them, and prepared and seen that they're actually willing to come through with us, by the time we are doing the training, we are training like a quarter of the people contacted. And for us, that is okay, because we'll be moving with the people who are willing to work with us. First of all, we take them through orientation, explaining about Retrak, who we are, what we do, why we work with street-connected children, the challenges involved with having these children, specific behavior of the children, what they will have experienced. We will emphasize child protection to the parents, to explain why these children need to be well catered for. We then explain a bit in detail about the behavior of the children, the traumas they have gone through. We talk about bonding, we talk about separation and loss, because these children have been separated from different people along their life journey. We talk to them about self-care. They need to know what their strengths are, they need to know what they're able to do, they need to know what they are not able to do, they need to understand when they are worn out and they cannot handle maybe the trying behavior the child may be exhibiting, and in this case they need to refer, either call us as staff or maybe talk to another foster carer. Usually in the process of training they get to interact with the existing foster carers, so that They don't burn out and end up sending away the child or becoming a problem, or having a child become a burden to them, when actually they can be helped. Usually what we look at in the first place concerning the qualities of foster carer is someone who has compassion for these children, because their behavior and the life they have been through requires a lot of patience, requires a lot of resilience for someone to be helpful to the child. They also need at least to have raised the children, even if it's not biological children, so that they know that there are certain things that are common to children generally. They need to have the capacity, in terms of emotional capacity, that they are not going to break down every time the child does something. And they need to be relatively healthy, maybe not hypertensive or having any other health issues that may be made worse by the behavior, different behavior of the child. When the children leave the center and we give them clothing, we give them everything, clothing, we give them beddings, a mattress, the blanket and all that. And then we'll also support them to go to school. Retrak will continue to pay their school fees when they are at school, and everything that the school requires. And also when they are sick, we ask the carers. At times they meet the costs of medication if it's not too much. But when the child is sick and they have to take them to like a hospital and have their bill, we will refund whatever they have spent on the child's medication. About failed placements, this usually comes about in relation to children's behavior, or at times it may be due to the change of circumstances in the family where the child has been placed. For change of circumstances, it may be, for example, that when the child was placed, the family head was working, they had income, and maybe this time they have no, maybe the job ended and the family head is no longer earning the income enough to support everyone. That one may be planned, that the child will be referred or brought back to the center, and then we can find another family. Other practitioners working with street-connected children, there are certain things that we need to keep in mind. For example, it's not helpful to give handouts to children, because this leaves them just surely stagnant on the street and they are not moving anywhere, but their childhood will never be repeated. So they lose their childhood and live on handouts, and eventually they grow up without any support and become disgruntled adults. At times they become criminals. So it's not helpful to give children handouts. When working with street-connected children, these children need to be respected. They need to be treated with respect. They need to know that they matter and that their point of view also matters. So that's why it is important that when a decision is being taken, like all this that we take the children through up to foster care, we allow them to have their point of view. We inform them, they participate in decision making, decisions concerning them. So they need to be allowed to be part of the decisions that are being made concerning their lives. Because in most cases, they will have lived on their own, made their own decisions, done things the way they want them done as children. So when they are now living with adults who have to direct them, at times it becomes too much. So we need to listen to them and not decide for them. We can guide them to make a decision, but we don't make a decision and then just inform them. We need to guide, but they need to participate.